G'day YouTubers, thank you for joining me once again on the Spanners Germs 669 channel. Um, as you can tell, I've got a very different feel to my videos now. I am now showing the YouTube community my not so television friendly face. So yes, it was a lot easier to make a video from a web camera than it is to make it from a video camera that is nothing but a piece of shit, and I was ready to throw the bloody thing out the window, but resisted the urge and now making less stressful, less complicated videos. Yeah, I know I've got a head like a beaten cabbage, but what can you do? You know, some of us were blessed with looks, some of us weren't. No use crying over spilt milk, and luckily, it does not require good looks to make videos showing off my movie collection. Otherwise, I'd be in big trouble. But yeah, today I thought I would do a video on some recent pickups I have. These are films I haven't seen yet, except for one. I've got one film I've seen. I'll do a sort of mini review of. Feel free to leave your comments and if you've seen these movies and whether you liked them or hated them. And don't give anything away, obviously, because I haven't seen it and I don't want to spoil the movie, take the fun out of it. But anyway, I'll get into it. I'll start with a review of a movie I did see. I bought this one last week. It was only $10, so pretty cheap. This is a low-budget Canadian horror film, Scarce. Now, there's nothing original about this. It's a low-budget horror film, so you're not going to have actors like Robert De Niro in it. Story is three snowboarders on a snowboarding trip. You see them go to a party at night, and then the following day they're going home, get into a car crash during a blizzard, and they're stranded. So nothing original there. They look for help, and they stumble upon a cabin that they think's deserted. But then the owner comes home, and he is a weird-looking guy, and he offers them help. And as you can tell, he turns out to be a psychopathic cannibal. Now, as I said, a low-budget film. It's been regarded as a brutal, a raw, shocking, and a ruthless bloodbath. That's what it's said about it. It was decent gore. I wouldn't say it was brutal. You know, if you're not used to, if you're exposed to the more extreme stuff like I am, then this is really tame. But if you're not used to extreme cinema, then you might find this pretty brutal. I mean, there are some pretty good gore scenes in it. But where this movie really hurts itself is in the acting. Now, how can I put this nicely? The acting was shit. Yes, I can't put it nicely. It was horrendous. Straight from the first minute, I knew I was in for a very long 93 minutes. Now, low budget, I know I'm not going to, you're not going to have the likes of Robert De Niro, you know, acting in it, but at least make an effort. At least get someone who can half act. You could tell that these guys are, I can't, yeah, it was bad, really bad, and took everything away from what the directors were trying to create, which was a disturbing, dark film. Just come across as a comical sort of film because of how dreadful the acting was. It was, yeah, crap. Gore was alright. Like for example, there was actually one scene where one of the guys in the car crash at the start breaks his leg, and he can't walk, so he's stuck in the car. And well, to cut a long story short, he ends up being taken by a cannibal. Well, there's actually a group of cannibals. There's two cannibals. Anyway, one of the cannibals takes the guy with the broken leg, and they torture him. And towards the end, you can see him running, and he's running away from them. But just the previous day, he broke his leg, so it was kind of like they forgot that his character actually broke his leg. So it's the kind of comedy of errors like that that just really take away what this movie was trying to create. Definitely not recommended. The acting is horrendous. Now these films I haven't seen, and these are all subtitled, so if you're not into the subtitled kind of stuff, then you won't be interested, but yes. So we start off with a Danish, it's kind of like a horror comedy. Well, not a comedy, but it's kind of dark humour. It stars Mads Mikkelsen. It's called The Green Butchers. Now, Mads Mikkelsen, if you don't know, is the bad guy from Casino Royale. Now, this is a Danish film. It's about two butchers who own a shop that's not going so well business-wise, and they need to come up with a new meat to, I don't know, to boost up their business, and they do so. And it's a huge success, but little do the public know that the new meat that they love so much is in fact human flesh that the butchers have killed, or something like that. Haven't seen this, but I've heard really good things about it, and yes, very, very excited to finally see this one. Next up, we've got a Norwegian slasher, Cold Prey. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the slasher genre, but heard good things, and two movies in one. So Cold Prey and Cold Prey Resurrection, which is the sequel. Now, this two movies for £4, too good to refuse. Plus, I've heard good things about it, so why not? Next up is a French psychological horror film, Them. No gore in it. A lot of people said they've liked it. A lot of people said they've hated it, so I won't make my judgment until I've seen it. Huge fan of French horror, so I had to have this one to the collection. Now, the last one I've been looking forward to the most. This is the one I really wanted to see. This is a recent addition to the French extreme horror scene, and this one is called The Horde. This is a French zombie film. Now, really looking forward to seeing this one. It's not actually out on Amazon UK until the 20th of September, so I don't know if that's when it's coming out in England or what's going on, but saw this one in Australia in my local store, $30, so it's a pretty expensive film, but I'm really hoping that it was worth it. I'm a huge fan of extreme French horror, so I couldn't resist this one. It's really cool. Just mindless zombie killing fun. A few other French horror movies coming out too. There's Mutants, Humans, and The Pack. So really keeping an eye out for them. Alright, well that's my new pickups, and what else can I say? No, I've got nothing, so have a good day, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.